Hey everyone, Merry Mead. This is Anastasia Autumnfire, and today is day 19 of 30 Days of Samhain Crafting. Tonight's craft, it might seem a little odd, perhaps even a little silly, but this is actually an offering bowl of sorts to the good folk that I will be placing on my outdoor altar for Samhain. Basically, I found this half walnut shell outside, and I grabbed it right away and kind of held on to it. I felt like there was something I needed. I was going to use. I don't know that needed is the right word, but it was something that I would find useful later. So I held on to it, and I've tried using it for other crafts and nothing really worked. And then tonight I looked at it and thought, okay, I'm using you. We're going to make something with you today. And the idea came for an offering bowl. I had just yesterday done my ancestor offering bowl, kind of dressed it a bit. And so when I saw the walnut tonight, I thought, oh, I haven't done anything for the good folk really, aside from some whimsical crafts that I'm going to give to my daughter on Samhain. But I haven't really done anything for their altar that's going to be outside. So I thought this would be kind of a fun little thing. What I did was I took the walnut shell, and inside I stuffed it with a 3-herb blend. We have rosemary, thyme, and jasmine. All 3 of them do have ties to the good folk. All 3 of them also do have ties to Samhain. Jasmine probably doesn't have that close of a tie to Samhain, at least not that I'm sure you'll find in correspondence books. For me, because it does have such a huge tie to the moon, I feel that pull to Samhain as well. So it might just be a personal feeling of mine, but that's why I used it. Then I used gold sealing wax over the top of it to seal in that spell. That spell, those 3 herbs, rosemary for remembrance. Thyme is just a great all-around herb. It also has funerary rituals that it is used in. It is it can be a protectorant. It can help with healing. It does have a tie to the good folk as well, I believe. It's just, I believe it's also used for prosperity workings. As my voice cracks, sorry about that. I really enjoy it, working with it. And then, of course, the jasmine. It is for adding that element of the goddess to the shell, to the honoring. So then I sealed it with gold sealing wax. Gold, not so much. I'm not really using it in the idea of the god. It's more for Samhain. Gold is one of the color correspondences for it, as it is the final harvest. And I also wanted to add a bit of success and abundance to this nutshell, to kind of give that blessing to the good folk as they have bestowed it upon me. And then I sprinkled on top of the gold sealing wax hawthorn leaves. Hawthorn is, I'm sure many of you know, huge offering for the good folk. The good folk are very connected to hawthorn. It is a protectorant as well, so that's another reason why I used it on top, to protect the spell within. Hawthorn you'll usually find being talked about and used a lot during the spring and summer, especially during Beltane. But even though it's kind of talked about during those times of the year, I still feel whenever I work with the good folk, hawthorn, both the leaves and the berries it's an all year round thing for me when it comes to honoring the good folk. If I can get my hand on some hawthorn leaves or hawthorn berries especially, that's what I'm going to be using. And then I used my 3 stones. I used clear quartz this time because I wanted to amplify and kind of give that cleansing power to this. Then we've got the amethyst and the carnelian. And then what I did was on the back here, I put a star anise. Star anise is not only a spice that has correspondences with Samhain, but it also helps amplify any spell you put it into or with. It kind of gives a boost to all the other herbs, very much like vervain does. I believe cinnamon also kind of has that attribute. I'm sure there's many others that have that attribute, but star anise I've really been utilizing a lot this autumn, and it used to be something I really did not like. Anise and star anise, they have that licoricey scent, and being someone who crafts a lot using incense, or crafts a lot of incense, smell is such a huge thing, and I am not a fan of the licorice scent. But I think a lot of the crafting that I've been doing, first with 30 Days of Magic and now 30 Days of Samhain crafting, it's forced me to kind of look at these herbs and spices and flowers that perhaps I would normally be like, I'm not a huge fan because of X, Y, and Z. I'm using them so much that I am becoming way more appreciative of their energies and their powers, for lack of a better phrase. And I've really learned to love anise and star anise for their magical properties. So even though the scent I'm not a huge fan of, I absolutely adore the energies that it provides. So I definitely wanted to add that here. And this one specifically I loved because it looks like the fairy magic star. There's probably a better name for it. I am just blanking on it currently. But you have the point on the top, and then the 2 kind of off to the side, and 2 off to the side, and then the horizontal. It's very much kind of like an asterisk, except it doesn't have the bottom prong. That one, it looks like, did break off. Now I've got some clumping of the sealing wax down there. But otherwise, I thought it was rather perfect because not only is it now being used for the magical properties that star anise carries, but it also acts as a point of power and protection and honor for the good folk, as that is one of their symbols. And it also kind of helps turn the bowl into a handy dandy little table. So I kind of like that. But yeah, I guess when I started making this, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video on this or maybe create something else as well tonight. Just because it seems a little silly. Again, lack of a better phrase. It just, I always kind of get worried or tripped up when it comes to crafting and things like that someone else will look at something I do and be like, psh, that's silly, or that's dumb, or that's a little, fluffy bunny, or what have you. But I think what I'm learning, even more so during this crafting session than with 30 Days of Magic, because 30 Days of Magic, I was able to do a lot of musings. I was able to really focus on processes and meditations and actual theories behind magic as well, in a way. Whereas this is specifically crafting. And I'm learning even the crafts that I kind of look at and go, oh God, someone is going to watch this and be like, that is the silliest little thing I've ever seen in my life. Even if someone else does see that, and they can think whatever they like or judge however they like, the reality is this little silly walnut shell with a star anise and kind of a thrown together construct it actually came about very organically, and it came about very much from within, and it really resonates with me. So whenever we're crafting things, whenever we're working on things, as much as we're always, I think people are always going to worry about what other people think or what other people, judge, when it's concerning something they hold as dear as crafting and their belief structure. I mean, it's a very intimate thing. It may seem like, holly hobby time, but it actually has this very spiritual and resonating purpose within you. And whenever that's there's that fear of it being judged and ridiculed, because it is so personal. It is so much a part of you that it's almost scary to let go of that control you have over it. But the reality is, whenever you craft something, whatever power it holds with you, whatever power you put into it, whatever you glean from that craft, that is where the magic is. The magic is between you and what you create and what you manifest and put out into the universe. It isn't about what Joe Schmo thinks about your offering, because whenever we craft, it is an offering. So no matter how small and seemingly insignificant of a craft, when the intent is there, when the love is there, even when you're having a bad day, just the fact that you bring yourself to your workspace and craft something, I think is such an amazing thing. And no one else can take that away from your process. And I kind of wanted to just share that with you, because I worry throughout this series that it turns into, oh, look what I can do, look what I did, that kind of show and tell idea. And I love that. I mean, I love that point about the pagan community and the witchy community is, look what I got, look what I can do, look what I made. I love sharing, but it goes so much further. I don't want to ever have it just be a glorified show and tell, because it's so much more. And I really hope that does come across in my videos, is just how every little thing, even if I may make a joke about, oh, okay, well, this craft is a little silly, or oh, okay, this craft may be a cop-out, it still is something that gives me the warm tinglies. Everything I've made, I feel a connection with, and have that magic and intent into, if that makes sense. I'm worried I'm rambling, I know. But I guess when all is said and done, the important thing is, when you sit down to craft, you may be making an incense blend, you may be making a candle, you may be making, even something for your altar, a piece of jewelry. But while you sit there and craft, I will put money on it, you're actually learning a bit of a lesson while creating this, whether it's a lesson of acceptance, a lesson of endurance, a lesson of humility, whatever it may be. There's always something to learn, and that's what I love about the craft, and that's what I love about doing I don't want to say challenges, because it sounds like a sporting event, but doing dedications like this. 30 Days of Magic as well. It makes you sit and do things when you would really rather not do things, when you would really rather just go to sleep. Just nope, I gotta go, I gotta sit, I gotta do this. Just that act kind of opens you up and makes that fire within you burn a little bit brighter, and there's so much wisdom that you can glean while you're in that state. So I guess for the lesson in tonight's craft, no matter how insignificant or small an offering or a craft or what have you, however you look at it, no matter how small and quote unquote insignificant something may feel or seem, simply putting something out there, simply taking your time and putting effort into something is in and of itself an offering, and it's amazing. And don't let anyone else's possible judgment take any power away from that. Now that I've gone off on a tangent, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please feel free to comment if there's a craft you would like to see. We're kind of winding down. I just realized this Saturday it is a week away from Samhain, so we are definitely winding down here. I know Woodwitch still wanted me to make a witch's ladder. That is on the docket. I had a friend of mine ask to make a candle, and it's a bit more of a nerdy inspiration rather than a Samhain crafting, but whenever someone requests something, I really want to try to do that. So I did find a connection so that I can justify putting it on a Samhain. And actually that connection that I found was really incredible for me. But so my point was, please do comment below, send me a message, what have you, if there's something you would like to see and haven't seen as of yet. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for listening to me yammer. Many blessings as always, and I hope you guys have a great night. See you tomorrow.